Only 31 rejected. Running rivers. Come on. That's a lot of volcanoes, though. I think Jawas on a volcano would be fun. I'm just saying. It is still failing. There it goes. It goes back to failing. All right. Screw this. Let's just do a normal generation because I'm lazy. Let's just give us a large world. I'm honestly more interested in reading the history, seeing what it comes up with. At least it didn't crash. Dwarf Fortress very rarely crashes for me. Like, everybody's always like, oh, Dwarf Fortress crashes a lot. I'm like, what are you talking about? Sites, we'll leave that. Natural savagery, we'll leave that, we'll leave that, we'll leave that. There you go. Do that. Just make me a world game. This is a mod. Okay. And? This is a mod that's updated, so... This is a mod that is updated. If it wasn't updated, then I would be... Yeah, it should be crashing, but no, it's been updated, so it should be fine. Ideally, assuming everything is working as it should be, the game shouldn't crash. See, only 14 rejections. There we go. We're into the age of myth. The first order fortress of whatever that word is. The plane of drilling. Shoutouts to the first order fortress. All right, well, let's just pause this for a second here. And scroll around. First order. First order, eh? The Jawa hillocks of Mistim Umril. Mistim Umril. I don't think they're actually speaking Jawa. Although I don't know how fleshed out the Jawa language actually is. They're in the new movies after all. As somebody who's only seen the first of the new movies, I don't know. Well, I mean, that's okay. What's up with the Island of the Apes right here? Just this tiny little evil island. Okay, so elves are Ewoks. You know, that makes sense. They live in trees. This checks out. What else do we have? The battle droid hillocks. Okay. Good stuff. The droids have created culture. Awesome. Clone troopers. Let's see, what else do we have? More clones. More clones. More Jawas. There's some volcanoes out in the ocean. Perfect. I kind of like this world. Kind of want to reset it. It's too islandy. Too islandy. Yeah, not continent enough for me. So I'm going to abort this one and we're going to start again. I'll probably do that a couple times. Probably find one that I like. Hill of Snot. Oh, you know. You know it. You're a fan of the Tusken Raider language? I had a friend who got good enough at speaking... not Tusken Raider. Why am I blanking on the name of him? Jabba the Hutt, whatever his ant language was. He got good enough to, like, actually be able to functionally speak. The wondrous domain of typhoons. That's a big spooky thing in the middle. Let's pause. See how much desert we got. I mean, as long as we got a good amount of desert with something interesting close by, I don't really care. I mean, there's a good amount of deserts up there, but again, it's a bit too spread out. Let's go down to a medium-sized world, and I'm gonna crank up the number of civs, and bump up the number of sites. Let's try this again. This will go a little faster. All right. I kind of like this central area. This area right here. The Steppe of Glee. The continent of contesting. I don't even know what that is. Geonosian? Wait, what the fuck is that? Geonosian. Geonosian? I know what a Star War is, but like... Oh, they're those guys. Those guys, right. Sorry, I tried to wipe the prequels out of my memory. Those guys. There we go. Yeah, those things. The bug things from episode 2. Yeah, I killed a lot of those in Star Wars Battlefront. That's all that they were good for. All right. Well, we got a bunch of bug guys. Bug people. Again, there's too many islands here. Ooh. Ooh. That central bit is kind of nice. This is all one big landmass. I like this one. Let's let it generate. See what it comes up with. Genosians? Genosians. I don't believe I've ever seen that written, but I'll believe you. You guys are going to learn today just how out of touch I am with Star Wars lore. Just like how out of touch I was with the Super Mario Brothers lore when we did that. Now I'm kind of curious about what will spawn on in a good biome in this mod. That's a lot of fucking forts. I wonder what Necromancer towers are. Sith towers, maybe? Don't worry, Disney's out of touch. Yeah, you make a valid point. I want to know what that tower is. Hold on, pause. Come on, game, slow down. Stop, there we go. Also, this mod's excessively easy to install. Huh. Bug People Tower. The Brown Dune. I love the fact that the Stormtroopers get helixes. There's Jedi and stuff. In adventure mode, you can play as a Jedi. I like that this implies that the Stormtroopers have religion. I want to know what a Stormtrooper religion is like. There's a good big desert in the middle here that's pretty separated from everything else, so we could easily settle down in this little desert in the Bourne Hills of Hushing. Yoda probably spawns in good biomes. I wonder if wild falling X-Wings also spawn in good biomes. Yeah, no, it's currently updated. Yep. If you want a link here, I can grab it for you. I mean, if people want, I could also, in theory, make a video on how to install it. It's excessively easy. It's literally just delete the default RAW folder and plop in the one that's given. It was one of the first mods to actually get updated. The Super Mario Brothers one, which I was able to make work. The Super Mario Brothers one, which I was actually able to make work, hasn't been updated. So. That's no desert, that's savannah. I mean, it'll work. There is also desert down there. Little tildes. I'm pointing at my screen like you can see my hand, but it's kind of surrounded by other stuff. I mean, if I pause. Whenever it decides to pause. There we go. There's this area right here that's desert. That's desert. Then there's all this savanna up in here. That's an Ewok tower. I don't know what the towers are, to be completely honest. Like, are they necromants? Like, are there fucking zombies? I really hope so. So forest retreats are just Ewoks. I really hope we get attacked by necromancer experiments that were... Yeah, there are a lot of forest ruins and they're all Ewoks. They also have a fort. There's some sort of war going on here. Oh, of course, they're getting killed by the Gungans. Probably, because there's a Gungan tower. Just like, Jar Jar Binks is just invading all the Ewoks, of course. Of course. I don't know. This is all Jawa. So we could probably just be part of this faction, whatever this faction is. Because these are all Jawa helixes. So these are all Jawa settlements on this little patch of desert. Tiny little patch of desert. All the Jawas are there. God. I don't subscribe to any of those fan theories really, and I don't follow the actual lore to know whether or not they're legit, but just the concept of that, Reza, just makes me do this. Also, hype trains are off cooldown, apparently. Press continue. Which is not far from desert. Yeah, we got plenty of badlands. Like this is a doable world. I mean, I don't care if it's perfectly like Tatooine-esque. Like we'll be fine if there's a tree, you know. I mean, come on, we've got Ewoks, stormtroopers, and this is like Alice in Wonderland, but it's like Star Wars. You know, it's just kind of everything mashed into one space. So it's fine. It's fine. I wonder if there's just like normal ass human villages too. There's definitely going to be a lot of activity. I'll say that much. I'm looking forward to reading Legends. I can't wait to read about a stormtrooper that has 11 wives. I'm going to take a real quick toilet break while this generates. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, no, this is going to be an interesting thing. Well, Badlands are like rocky outcrops, right? Deserts are like sand dunes. So deserts are like sand. So the little yellow tildes are like sand dunes. Badlands are like, yo, it's all rocky, and like those are called. Have you never heard the term Badlands before? No, Badlands are very much a different thing. So Badlands are not like a sand desert. A sand desert is different than a badland. Badlands are just areas where you can't farm, but aren't necessarily as dry as a desert. Like in BC, we don't have any deserts, but we do have a lot of badlands in certain areas. Same with like the eastern provinces in Canada. There's quite a bit of badland, but there's no deserts. Like just go to Google Images and type in Badlands, and then go to Google Images and type in desert. You'll get two completely different things. I do like that we are in the age of myth, though. Let's see if I can find you a good image. Yeah, like, this is more closer to what a Badlands would look like. Like this kind of area. This is more of a Badland. Like, yeah, it's kind of like desert, but not quite. Whereas, desert. Definitely not Mars. Although I would actually say that Badlands look more like Mars to me, but. Just paint it red. I was in a Discord a while ago, and we were playing a game called "Is This a Picture of Arizona or a Picture of Mars?" It was pretty funny, actually, because most of them were pictures of Arizona. We kept on thinking it was like, oh, that's definitely one of the photos of Mars. It's like, nah, it's Arizona. And then you put them side by side, and they both look identical, and you're like, huh, why were you not invited? Because you're not in that Discord. Holy crap, something happened up here. I think I found where the Empire's invading. Okay, hold on. I need to pause this world gen for a second. So I did crank up the number of civs to like capacity, right? So there's a lot of things spawning up here. Like world gen's taking forever to pause. Come on, game. Pause. Okay, fine. You can take a couple of years to pause, but like there you go. What the hell is going on up here? Vong? The hell's a Vong? That's like... Also, there's Wookiee forest retreats! Sorry, we found Wookiees. This is excellent. What's a Vong? I think this is gonna end up being just like that what? I've never seen any of this shit before. Because, like, this is the first thing that pops up. The hell is this? Orcs in space? Like, what? They look like space. So they're space orcs. Okay. The worst books and loans? Yeah, no, of course they do. Okay, so all of these Star Wars mods always, or not Star Wars mods, all the Dwarf Fortress mods always go way too deep into the lore that they're using. Like, I learned more about Super Mario lore playing the Dwarf Fortress mod with Super Mario stuff in it than I've learned in my whole life. So in like 7 hours of Dwarf Fortress mod playing, I learned more about Super Mario Brothers than anything else. So this is all like First Order shit. And then there's like Wookiee castles. Like there's a bunch of First Order stuff over here. And then it's just like Wookiee. Watch like the Wookiees be allied with the First Order or something silly. Stormtroopers have Necromancer towers over here. What's the... Okay. Clone troopers and stormtroopers are different races. Just remember that. We're differentiating between the two. What the heck's a puckstastrot? A puckastrot? What? I need to just open up the Star Wars wiki. I mean, I know, but I wasn't expecting them to differentiate the two. Maybe it's just the name of that particular tower. Huh. But that, like, invalidates the line, aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper? There's more Vong towers down here. Genosians, guys. More... Hey! I found a Jedi castle! So there are some Jedi here. It would be kind of... Oh, there's a Rebel castle. Oh, we found Mandalorians. To the Wikipedia! Yeah, basically. There's a whole, like, set of Mandalorians down here. A pirate fort? Just pirates? Yar her feedle-dee-dee. Okay. I guess space pirates, maybe? More Wookiees? Oh, hey, there's a Jedi Hamlet. Settlers? Okay, so those are just, like, normal-ass humans. Probably. Tusken Raiders? Jawas are the dwarves, yep. Although it seems like everything just kind of uses hillixes, so I think a lot of things are actually dwarves. But Jawas are the playable one, if I'm not mistaken. But who knows, maybe we'll have multiple playable races. Alright, well, let's continue that. Probably Weequay? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm probably going to learn more about Star Wars lore today than I'm comfortable with. Considering, and we had this conversation a few times in regards to the Super Mario Brothers mod. Dwarf Fortress does one thing, and it asks way too many questions. So if you ever really wanted to ask way too many questions about Star Wars, this is probably a good way to do that. It's like a really good way to like have Mario ruined for you forever is playing that Super Mario Brothers mod. There's a lot of invasions going on. Stuff's changing sides a lot down here. Only the Gungans are playable. Then why is it called ironically, I would totally play Gungans. That would be fun. Actually, more accurately, I hope I can build a tavern and just have a bunch of cool people show up. Like, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Because that is a mess of factions down there. So, if we don't get interesting people showing up, this is going to be really boring. Got his Elite Dangerous grind payoff? Wait, what do you mean? I can't remember how long I set the history to be. If it keeps going, then longer than 250. How long do we want to let this world generate, do you guys think? We could probably stop it right here. Although it looks like all the Jawas are kind of getting annihilated. Maybe we should stop it. Oh, okay. I mean, he got some money, so that's good. Good for your friend in Elite. Yeah, it looks like all the Jawa fortresses are kind of like getting annihilated by something. I hope it's the First Order. All right, I think that we should use this world as is. And default is 1,000 plus, yeah, but that's not the default. The default is 250 actually, but I moved it up one, I think, which is 550. Default is not 1,000 plus. It has not been 1,000 plus since like version 40 before 44. Like 4412, I think, was the first one where they defaulted it to 250. Anyway, so we have a whole lot of human hamlets down here. Some for... All right, what the heck's a Nabunin? Nabunin? Nabuian. Nabuian? Is that like just someone from Naboo? It's somebody from Naboo. Okay, so there's Naboo people. Apparently it's also a type of fish that is very ugly looking. So we got Naboo people. What else do we have? The Slow Forests, of course. Genosians. Mandalorian monasteries. All right. And then all my Jawas, and unfortunately all the Ewoks are gonna be like over here. Oh shit, never mind, those are Wookiees. So over the right we got Wookiees. So where even are the Ewoks then? I guess like dead, probably. That's all they're really good for. Nabooians, someone from Naboo. Yes, this checks out. I don't know. Maybe it's like a weird robot thing. This area is a cluster up here. This whole area is just getting destroyed. Although, there's like Jedis and Nabooians. Lots of Nabooians. Clone troopers. Vong. We got everything up here. Stormtroopers. Settlers. An actual human town. Palpatine might be a possible name. I don't, like I said, I don't know how much language stuff's actually in here, but like I don't know how complete this mod is. Teach the rights of the Mandalorian monasteries teach you to bend over and let Star Wars be inserted into every single thing that you have left. So that there is no media left, only Disney. There is no media, only Disney. All right, let's jump into Legends for a wee bit and see if we can find some stormtroopers that have been cheating on their wives. Because I'm sure we'll find some fun stuff in Legends. Give it a minute. Although, isn't there already like a Church of the Jedi Order or something like in real life? I'm pretty sure that already exists, doesn't it? Yes, you could legally have Jedi be your religion. But then again, you know, there's plenty of fake religions that don't matter, like most of them. Anyway, the histories of averse and exertion. Region 2, which is, because Region 1 was just like a test one that I did yesterday, but Region 2. Let's open up Legends briefly. Just have a peek, you know. Just a peek. Is there anything that anybody's particularly keen to hear about, though? That's the question. Historical figures. What the heck is a Summa Verminoth? Oh God, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I didn't even think about this, but we've got, of course, all the Mega Beasts, right? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. We've also just got fucking dragons because logic. What the fuck is a Summa Verminoth? Cog the AT-AT was one of the only ones of his kind. Cog was associated with war, strength, and metals. He settled in the Hill of Drilling and attacked the Speckled Society at Stockaded Reigned? Is that? I think it's Stockade Reigned. And Cog was struck down by the UATT. Oh, Jesus. I need to find out what that was. A Kyret dragon? I don't know what this is. Are we gonna get attacked by spaceships? I want to get attacked by the fucking... Okay, first off, I need to know what this is. This is where I open the Star Wars wiki. What the heck is a Summa Verminoth? I'm sorry. Okay, so... Who here's seen Solo: A Star Wars Story? Because that's one of the few ones I've actually seen, and I was very drunk. Who here's seen that movie, right? Or who here doesn't give a shit? Because you're about to get spoilers for that movie. If you actually give a shit. Okay? So if you actually give a shit about Solo, a Star Wars story, it's not a very good movie. Plug your ears. And your eyeballs. With something. Corks, preferably. That movie has a giant intergalactic space octopus. And those are in the world. Fucking... Look at this shit! Oh my god. Okay. 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 That's in the world. There's multiples of them, actually. Control plates, the Azure, was a Summa Verminoth. It's one of the only ones of its kind. Think like a gigantic Komodo dragon mixed with a real dragon minus the wings. Okay, that's just a description of a Dwarf Fortress dragon then. It killed a Jawa. A worker, Genosian, Sith Osmos, tunnel years confronted Sack. Also, I love that this thing's name is shortened down to just Sack, basically. Suyuk, attacked a rebel. Can you ride a TomTom? I don't know. I mean, you could be an you could play adventure mode and be a Jedi if you want. I wonder if you can use mind powers. These are not the droids you're looking for. All right, well, fuck. What else do we have? What the heck's a Zillo Beast? I need to know what a Zillo Beast is. This is gonna be blind learn Star Wars lore. The heck's a Zillo Beast? Excuse me, what? Excuse me, what? Okay, so it's like a weird three-armed flying thing. Back in 2 hours, have good walks. Oh, nice. So I've only gone through like 3 things. I know what a Snarlack is. There's a female Snarlack who's alive. There's an ATM-6. I actually don't know what an ATM-6 is, but I can guess. There's several Snarlacks, actually. I wonder if Snarlacks move. It was jumping in that image? Oh. Well, I mean, it's big, so I guess it can jump really high. And then I'm assuming these are just normal Forgotten Beasts, right? It was the only one of its kind, a grade ceratopsid with lidless eyes, a spiral shell, and a gaunt appearance. Its mahogany scales are jagged and overlapping. Beware its noxious secretions. The cave was associated with theft and caverns. Yeah, see that? So the Forgotten Beasts are normal DF weird. I'm looking for other things that stand out. Okay, looks like we also have just straight up ogres. Also, Ingul, the cloudy ore, the glades of glades, was a deity that occurs in the midst of the sacrificial buckles. Ingul most often is depicted as a male Jawa and is associated with nature and water. In the early winter of 240, the Jawa necromancer Oshkat Landstivery corrupted a childhood friend, Tosid Paperquest, in order to have someone act on plots and schemes in Dipped Sheltered. Oh, there's another one right underneath this one. What about the Vile Freaks? I'm assuming those are pretty standard stuff. Astrid most often depicted as a male Jawa and was associated with children and family. Atrid. Humanoid with external ribs, 2 broad horns, strides in silence with purpose. Yeah, so these are all pretty standard things, I think. Because there still is, like, Dwarf Fortress stuff in here. The Bulb of Nuts. That's all I have to say to that. Was a forest titan. The Bulb of Nuts was a forest titan. It was the only one of its kind. A great eyeless mite. Yeah, there's some pretty standard stuff here, but... First Order Stormtrooper Necromancer. Here we go. Justry was the First Order Stormtrooper Necromancer. He was the first of his kind. Justry and Rope. Stricken reigned, became lovers. Settled in Vice-Law. Broke up with Rope. R.I.P. Rope. Technically, you can disable all of them. Yeah, I can, but I don't know. I like the... I don't know. Do you guys want me to go back and disable all this stuff? I kind of like having some of the weird Dwarf Fortress stuff mixed in. Yeah, no, it needs to be disabled. I'd have to generate a new world if I were to do that, which I could do in theory. I mean, we're still just like messing around with world gen stuff. I'm not necessarily going to play in this world. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got the First Order Stormtrooper teaching Jestry acted patterns, the secrets of life and death. Excellent. Does fit in Star Wars. I mean, all the Forgotten Beasts are fine. I mean, I kind of like having Star Wars just like crammed into just necromancers and stuff. It's just silly. Does that say Snowtrooper? Does it really? No, it says Storm. There's definitely a T there. There's definitely a T there. S-T-O-R-M. The First Order Stormtrooper. But Jestry and the First Order Snowtrooper Necromancer became lovers. So he became lovers with a Snowtrooper at one point. Became a member of the Order of Lightning. Competed in a foot race. Got married to the First Order Snowtrooper. And became the lieutenant of the group of rocks. Settled in city judge. Held a deep hatred for the First Order Stormtrooper Grimghoul Manba controlled flutes due to religious persecution, and left the Order of Lightning, and visited Apeiris systems, became a member of the Courageous Fellowship, and became a monk. The study of the tower was authored by Jestry, Apeiris systems. Misconceptions about the First Order. About the First Order Stormtrooper was authored by Jestry. Misconceptions about the First Order Stormtroopers. I'm pretty sure necromancy's probably canon in Star Wars. God. We've got Tusken Raiders. Was a Tusken Raider. Was one of the first of her kind. Became a ranger in the Mangy Hollows. Held a foot race in the Mangy Hollows, and this person was not the victor. Also, are Tusken Raiders... Are Tusken Raiders kobolds? I think they're kobolds. Look at that name, though. I think they're at the very least using Cobalt language. Benga Kaloldrin? Slowfostilibus? It looks like Cobalt language. Looks like Cobalts. But they definitely have, like, fortresses and such. And this one was embezzling funds as the fire administrator under the influence of Dalgris. Horrible. Okay, we have an Ewok god. We have two Ewok gods. Theti Feral Run was the bloated terrors, was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Frosty Confederacies. Theti most often was depicted as a female Ewok and associated with depravity. We have several Ewok god lists. Pilla occurs in the myths of the Frosty Confederacies. Pilla most often is depicted as a female Ewok and is associated with rainbows and love. There you go. Vulo, the bloated ooze of scratches, was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Frosty Confederacies. Vulo was most often depicted as a male Ewok and associated with nightmares, the night, and rumors. You'll be back? All right. I read that in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. I'll be back. See you when we see a night chicken. Don't worry about sending me money, H2O. Just enjoy the show. We all good. I'll be here when internet's... Okay, what's a Highlander? It's a deity that occurs in the myths of the Frost Confederacies. What the heck's a Highlander? As a twin fin Highlander. Was associated with strength in rivers. To the wiki! You know, I'm just gonna go to Wikipedia. Highlander. Twin fin Highlander. It's a fish. It's a species of fish native to the oceans of the planet Acto. Oh boy. We going deep into Star Wars lore here. Well, I mean, it's a fitting god, I guess. Nabooian god, Bora. Bora was most often depicted as a female Naboo. As a female Naboo, okay. Naboo to you too. And that was associated with jewels. Fish lore, yeah, fish lore. Korra was a deity that... I really want like an AT-AT deity. I don't know why. Yes! Yes! This is basically the same thing as that. Kobar was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Thin Kingdoms. Kobar was most often depicted as a B1 battle droid and was associated with sacrifice, generosity, and charity. What's a B1 battle droid look like? Now I want to know. I probably do know. Okay, like literally just a standard fucking battle droid. One of these dudes. Okay. Roger, roger. He does fight for charity. I like this mod already, chat. It literally takes 15 seconds. I can make one tonight after stream. Or I mean, I could show you on stream, but I could make one tonight after stream. If you'd like. Yep, you should swear if you need to, H2O. That sucks. You should swear if you need to. What else do we have? I like all the... Okay, there's another one. Another B1 battle droid deity. Rushan Lucimir's the Wondrous was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Thin Kingdoms. Rushan most often was depicted as a B1 battle droid and associated with song poetry in darkness. Oh no. I mean, at the very least... What the heck's a Magnagard? A Magnagard? Magnagard? Magnagard. There was a few droid Kia deities. Or a fearsome bodyguard units and a type of battle droid. Oh, I remember these. Or I've seen these before, rather. Yeah, Grievous's dudes. There's a tactical droid who died in year 2. It was a tactical droid. It was one of the first of his kind. Became a commander of the Thin Kingdoms. Created the position of chief as master of corps. Created a bunch of positions. And then was struck down by Gyrax Syrup Sport the Famous. Super battle droid. B1 battle droid. Okay, we found Gungan gods. It's a deity that occurs in the myths of the domestic kingdom. Udir was most often depicted as a male Gungan and was associated with healing. Hey, Vin. The Ash of Oblivion. The Ash was most often depicted as a male Gungan and then associated with death. Yeah, it's always difficult to deal with shit like that. As Alien says. Do what you gotta do, man. I don't know if I necessarily want to say round of beers or anything for that sort of thing. So just, say something nice to H2O chat. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of Gungan goddesses. I'm more kind of just looking for, like, this sort of stuff. The Blossom of Cleaning. The Blossom of Cleaning was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Shaken empires of extracticating? What? Of extricating. The Blossom most often was depicted as a female TIE pilot. Associated with trade, wealth, rebirth, and creation. Huh. Stormtrooper gods. The Shaken empires. Quimera was most often depicted as a male stormtrooper and is associated with fire. Singluan god? Saren god? What are these? Troig? Confederation of Bristling. The male Troig pirate was associated with rulership. There's a Doug god? Doug? Who's Doug? Unless you're talking about a little bit further down. There's also a Toon god. I don't know what most of these are. Oh yeah, there it is. The Bristles of Water, a Doug god. I don't know what any of this stuff is. Female Swokes. Rebel Biter Corpse. I mean, it's a Doug Eat Doug world. And his name's Leto. It's most often depicted as a male Doug rebel. Dougs are bipedal creatures who use their upper limbs for locomotion and their lower limbs for grabbing. Doug. I need... Oh, these fucking things. Yeah, those fucking things. You're building me a Punjin. You realize you'd have to put like 80% of my chat into that, right? I'm finding Sith. Vong gods. I don't know what an LC-24 fire droid is, but apparently there's an LC-24 fire droid goddess. The Earthen Nuts is a deity that occurs in the myths of the Empires of Humidity. Most often depicted as a female LC-24 fire droid and associated with plants and silence. What's the hex of LC-24 fire droid? I have no idea what this is. Apparently this is in Rise of the Skywalker stuff. No idea what that is. Can I look up the Empires of Humidity? Sure, yes, but I'm scrolling down this for a little bit further. The Law of Webs, a stormtrooper god, associated with is depicted as a male clone trooper and was associated with laws and oaths. Discount walker droids. Okay, that's a Lindroid. Deity of the myths of the humble empires. Conley was most often depicted as a female Lindroid and was associated with day, sun, fire, and volcanoes, mountains, and earth. Where are the Wookiee gods? I don't know. I haven't scrolled down that far yet. There's a Wookiee god. Literally, like 1, 2, 3, 4, or rather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Wookiee gods. 7 Wookiee gods. 8 Wookiee gods. Thudil was, or rather, was a deity that occurs in the myths of the Federation of Channels. Thudil was most often depicted as a male Wookiee, was associated with jealousy. I mean, that's fair. They need a god of jealousy. You need to rip their arms off when they need to rip your arms off when they lose, right? There's a vampire. Oh no, a female Wookiee vampire. Oh boy. Yeah, no, and then Jedis. Also, there's all the weird races, right? There's also a Korsav, whatever a Korsav is. The greatest ace of rulers was a deity that occurs in the myths of the realm of knights. Zulur was most often depicted as a male Korsav. It was associated with rulership. I have no idea what that even is. No idea what that even is. Oh, probably. RX goddess? Django Jumper? The fuck you guys been doing with Star Wars in the last 10 years? Saw a Jawa Jedi in there? Oh, probably. Where's this Jawa? This is literally just like proc gen Star Wars fan fiction. You realize this, right? We're just creating OCs. Do not steal. Where's that? I want to find that Jawa Jedi. No, definitely don't donut seal. I'm looking for this supposed Jawa Jedi that you saw. Also, the Soaked Clearing, there's a force. Guna, the Soaked Clearing, was a force, which was said to permeate in the hills of cover. Guna was associated with rivers and nature. All right, well... You wanted me to look at the Empires of Humidity? I think it was? Episode 44 script generation? Pretty much, yeah. You didn't think they'd have that? Why didn't you think they had that? This is Dwarf Fortress modding we're talking about here. Of course they're gonna have all the deep cuts. It's the Empires of Humidity that you wanted me to look up. There it is. It was a Vong civilization of the Eternal Plains. So they're a Vong civ. They have a really long history, too. The TIE pilot, his Stek, Jagged Lance, fooled the Empires of Humidity into believing that he was the TIE pilot, the Monster Slayer, Zolok Frey's dungeons of the Empires of Humidity. The Submerged Infernos. All right, what else do we have here? Let's just look at some of the names of these. So, the Sacrificial Buckles is a Jawa civilization. The Future Fountain is a Jawa group. The Muddled Empires was a Mandalorian civilization. I don't know, is there anything in particular you guys want me to look up? Actually, no, we should look at books. Unusual cultures, you don't say. This is a Gorg parchment scroll. The rollers are made from nickel. The written on the item is a manual entitled Unusual Cultures, authored by Puwog Culver-Drim. It concerns the method of accurately and comprehensively describing cultures and civilizations. The writing is a hint of tenderness, and overall the prose is not awful, but not very good either. In Pursuit of the Jawa. This is a microcline-bound codex. The written portion consists of a 25-page essay entitled In Pursuit of the Jawa, authored by Rakas Sandalabers. It concerns the denial of apprenticeship of the Jawa, Rakas Sandalabers, underneath the Jawa Edzul Castle Kist in Fenkrai in the early autumn of 28. The writing is completely serious. Overall, the prose is amateurish at best. You want underground breaches? I mean, I could just go to underground regions. I mean, actually, something I could do is I could do this. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, what comes from down below? One of the Jedi Hunters and Rebels was a Django jumper. I know nothing about what you guys are talking about. All right. I kind of just want to go. You know, I kind of just want to, like, launch it. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to do. It is indeed inevitable. Let's see what we run into, shall we? Yeah, no, all of the animated series I know nothing about.